So in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to animate smarter rather than harder by learning how to link up multiple layers to the same object by only animating one of them. So let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are in this composition that I made when I'm trying to animate this car going from left to right. I already applied the animation to the body, but the wheels and the windows and the people inside, they're kind of left behind, as you can see. How do we get all of these pieces to move alongside the body and follow the same movement without having to manually keyframe the wheel going from left to right? Well, the process to do that is actually very easy. It only takes like a couple of clicks. So first, you gotta make sure that you have down here your parent and link column active. And to do that, just right click the layer panel bar and go to columns and then enable parent and link, and you will get this column right here that says none for all of them. So as you can see, the only thing that is animating right now is the body. It's just a simple position animation. There is some rotation there as well, but I'm gonna keep it simple for now. So the only thing that's animating here right now is the body. As you can see, the body is going from left to right, and I want them to follow the body. In that case, the body is the parent. This is what I'm gonna link all of the other layers to. So let's grab the wheels, the windows, and the people, and everything like that. With the section of the floor, we don't want the floor. So we just selected all of the pieces of the car. And we're gonna look for this little pick-wick icon right here that says parent pick-wick. With all of your layers selected, and with the animation in the beginning, just click and hold this pick-wick and drag it down to what you want the parent to be. In this case, is the body. Now all of the layers are linked in just one simple click. As you can see, it is that easy. Now, all of these layers also have their individual motion. Like as you can see, these wheels, I actually animated these wheels as well. There you can see the rotation keyframes, and they move independently of the parent. That's because even though they are still responding to the rotation of the parent, they can also rotate on their own around their own anchor point. So that's something to keep in mind, which in this case is very useful. And these people as well inside of the car are also moving up and down dynamically, because I'm also animating the person's keyframes and making them bounce up and down depending on how the car moves up and down as well. Just make sure that when you do the linking, you're not doing the linking in the middle, but in the beginning or the end, or at the point of the animation where you want them to get attached to the parent. So for example, if we go to the middle and we link them here in the middle of the animation, then this happens. See, they are still following it, but they are not in the right spot. So make sure that you do the linking at the moment that they are in the right spot. Now there is another very powerful application that you can do with this, and that is you can use null objects to add additional animations to objects. In this case, this is where the car's anchor point is around the wheel, and it's rotating around it in the beginning of the animation, but at the end it's actually rotating around the first wheel, but it only has one anchor point, right? So how is this happening? Well, the way that it did that is by using a null object. What is a null object? A null object is basically like an empty layer that doesn't exist, and it only really provides its properties for you to link it to other layers. To create a null object, all you have to really do is to hit right click on your layers panel and go to new null object, and this will create a null object in the center of your composition. In this case, as you can see, I put the null object that I was using for the rotation down here. So I can put it here. This is its anchor point. So here we have our new null object. I'm gonna set this to, I'm gonna rename this rotation, and I'm gonna look for the animation that I already did. I'm gonna redo it just so I can show you what the process is. The car is braking when it's getting near to the end, right? That's why I started the rotation animation early. It starts around here. So let me copy those keyframes and put them on the new null object that we just made. Copy and paste, and there we have it. It's as bouncy as the other null object. And let me unlink the body, which is on this null, by clicking in the parenting and link panel and selecting none to remove the connection, to remove the link. So as soon as the tire is on the correct position and all of the animations are finished, so nothing is moving, nothing is gonna get messed up, I'm gonna link the body, to the null object we just made called rotation. And now look, it's rotating alongside that null object at the end of the animation, just the same as I had it set up originally, because it's connected to this null object we just made, which is contributing that rotation as like an extra auxiliary anchor point in a way. So here's another way that you can utilize null objects in parenting. So let's say that you have a logo reveal and you want the logo and the whole scene around the logo to scale up slowly, like you see, like when there is an intro and the logo is slowly scaling up, and you want to achieve that effect moving all of them. But what if you try to scale them all up like that? You get this effect. It's not scaling up from the middle. They are all scaling around their own anchor points. And you don't want that. You want them all to go out from the middle. One way to do it is to grab all of the other elements and link them to the logo, selecting them and clicking and dragging the pickwick down into the logo with this center shape right here. And here we have a slow scale where all of them are scaling from the center element. But let's say that we don't want to use the properties of this element. Why not? Because what if we want this to scale up on his own and have its separate animation without affecting the others, but we still want the whole scene to scale up from the middle? Well, this is where null objects come into play. We want a layer that doesn't exist that is gonna drive up that scale for all of the other layers. So here, let me create it by right clicking and hitting new null object. So here we have a null object, and now we are gonna link all of them to that null object by holding and clicking the pickwick. And now let's animate the scale of the null object so it slowly scales up like this. And there you have it. They are all scaling up according to the movement of the null object that is in the middle. And now that we have this scale available for the center logo, we can do anything we want with the center logo. Let's say that we want to scale it down like this to surprise the viewer. We can still do that without affecting the other shape. Scaling up and the logo scales down without affecting the rest. So that's another powerful way that you can utilize null object. So here's another example. We have a star that's rotating and we got a star that's still. If I link down the still star, that is the one that is underneath, and I link it to the parent that's rotating, and I do it in the beginning of the animation, suddenly it's only one star because they are both rotating at the same speed. But because the child still has its own rotation parameter available, we can still go ahead and animate the child's rotation at the same speed as the parent. And now the child is rotating at twice the speed because his own rotation is getting added to the rotation of the father. Or let's do it the opposite this time. Instead of going from 0 to 2, let's go from 0 to -2. So now the child is not moving. Why is that? Because the parent is rotating forward at 2 speed, while the child is rotating backwards at -2 speed. So they are canceling each other out. So think about all of the different ways that you could really utilize parenting to achieve very creative effects. What if you wanted to add like a handheld camera effect to this? So like everything is shaking around randomly. Or what if you want to drive more visual interest by shaking these icons around in a randomized way without having to manually move them like this and keyframe them every single way? That is called wiggles. And there is a very easy way to add those to any shape, as well as create that nice handheld camera effect. So I'm gonna show you that on the next video, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to drop a like. I will see you on the next video.